Good morning, everyone. So our topic for today is about the library. Under the library is two general ways of operating a library, system of classifying books in the library, the card catalog, the general reference library, the parts of the book, and the call numbers. So the first that we are going to tackle is about library. So a library is a created collection of sources of information and a similar resources selected by experts and made accessible to a defined community for reference or borrowing, often in a quiet environment conducive to study. So a library, it provides physical or digital access to material and may be a physical location or a virtual space or both. So, a library's collection can include books, periodicals, newspapers, manuscripts, films, maps, prints, documents, microform, CDs, cassettes, videotapes, DVDs, Blu-ray disc, ebooks, audiobooks, databases, table games, video games, and other formats. So that's are the examples of located at the library. So libraries range widely in size up to millions of items. So the word for library in many modern languages is derived from ancient Greek, originally meaning bookcase via Latin bibliotheca. So there are two general ways of operating a library. So first here is open shelf system. So the open shelf system, the bookshelves are accessible to you and everyone who wishes to use the materials therein. So you can thumb over the books and browse under the shelves. So second here is closed shelf system. So the closed shelf system is you ask for the book from the librarian and see it only when it is issued to you. So that's the difference between open shelf and closed shelf system.
Good day, sir and classmates. My topic is all about system of classifying books. There are two systems how to classify books. The Dewey Decimal Classification System and the Library of Congress Classification System. We start for the Dewey Decimal Classification System, or DDC. It's the most widely used method for classifying books in the library. This system is a general knowledge organization tool that is continuously revised to keep pace with knowledge. Another information, this system named after Melville Dewey, an American librarian books, and it classifies books by dividing them into 10 main subject groups that are called categories. Each category is represented by figures beginning with 000 and going on to 999. In other words, it is a system of numbers used to mark and arrange mostly non-fiction books. And also, Dewey Decimal Classification, or DDC, is a series which group together in label. Books should be read left to right and top to bottom. As you can see, this is the example of Dewey Decimal Classification System. And the left side is the number started 000 and going to 999. And the right side is the category of the books that group together and labeled. Library of Congress Classification System, or LCC, is a classification system that was first developed in the late 19th and early 20th centuries to organize and arrange the book collection of the Library of Congress. Over the course of the 20th century, the system was adapted for use by other libraries as well, especially large academic libraries in the United States. It is currently one of the most widely used library classification system in the world. The library's policy and standard division maintains and develops the system. As you can see at the example, the system is using on how to organize the categories in the alphabetical order. It organized and labeled in using alphabetical letter.
The card catalog. The card catalog was familiar sight to the library users for generations, but it has been effectively replaced by the Online Public Access Catalog or OPAC. Some still refer to the online catalog as a card catalog. Some libraries with OPAC access still have card catalogs on site, but these are now strictly secondary resources and are seldom updated. Many libraries that retain their physical card catalog will post a sign advising the last year that the card catalog was updated. Some libraries have eliminated their card catalog in favor of the OPAC for the purpose of saving space for other use, such as additional shelving. Three types of card catalog. The first type is classified catalog. Is a primarily a subject catalog arranged on the basis of notation. A common reader approach the catalog by author or title. The second type is author catalog, an alphabetical catalog in which titles are listed usually under the name's author only by sometimes also under the names of the editors and compilers. The third catalog is a library catalog in which books and other works are listed only under their titles usually arranged alphabetically. How to make card catalog online easily and fast. The first step is select your catalog's page size and orientation. The second step is choose one of our free catalogs design templates. The third is use professional product wage and photography. The fourth is display product design and information. The fifth is customize the design based on your brand colors. And the last is publish online and load or print.
The general references in the library. First, references in the library is the dictionary. Dictionary defines words and phrases. If you do not understand what your professor meant, he or she used the word peregrination or lemire. Let's find out on the dictionaries. There are types of dictionaries. The general covers all subject, abridged, shorter version, may not cover all meanings for each word, and may not include more obscure words or unabridged. Etymological, trace the histories of the word. Foreign language, translate foreign words into English. Example is lemire. Translation is the sea. Desk, omit archaic terms and place an emphasis on modern pronunciation and meanings of words. Slangs and dialect have definition of colloquial words such as you, all, and pushum. Thesauri contain synonyms and antonyms, abbreviation and acronyms, list full names or give short forms of societies or institutes, quotations, reprint famous sayings, essays, or speeches. Second is the atlas and maps. Atlases are collection of maps and sometimes include supplementary illustrations. Maps are visual representations of a physical area such as oceans, the universe, or the world. There are three types of atlases and maps: the current, historical, and thematic. Examples of atlas: Times Atlas of a Second World War, that is historical. Hammond World Atlas, the current. and the Atlas of the Bible Land, thematic, religious, or commentary. Encyclopedias. Encyclopedias, there are two main categories of encyclopedias, general and subject. They are indexes and see also to help the user find the information. A general encyclopedia covers information that is interdisciplinary and broad in scope. Usually you find factual answers, general background information, and preliminary research information. A subject encyclopedia covers a single subject and provides a deep information. The almanacs. Almanacs usually deal with the information of a particular country from a current and historical perspective, may include comparative world history and data. It contains very practical information. So almanac is talk about the country, the particular information of a particular country. The handbooks or manuals. Handbooks are a handy guide to a subject. They often include examples or illustration or both. Yearbooks contain facts and statistics for a single year. Example is Facts and File, a yearbook that is added to weekly, and Europa World Yearbook has summary of a complete constitution for each country and much more. Biographical sources. The direct biographical sources provide the information about a person. Example is the Dictionary of American Biography. The indirect biographical sources lead the user to other sources where the information can be found. Example is the Biography Index. Directories. List of people and organizations supplying contact information. And directories are the most well-known directory is the telephone book. Example is the College Blue Book, the scholarship or grants. So that is the references and the general references of the library.
Parts of the book, a book's front matter. Front matter is the information that appears in the very beginning of a book. The front matter contains the nuts and bolts of the book's publication information such as title, author, publisher, ISBN, and Library of Congress data. The typical parts of a book's front matter. Half title, sometimes called bastard title. Actually, this is just the title of the book. Frontispiece. This is the piece of artwork on the left, otherwise known as verso, side of the page, opposite the title page on the right, otherwise known as recto side. Title page. The title page is the page that contains the title of the book, the author or authors, and the publisher. Copyright page. This includes the declaration of copyright, meaning who owns the copyright, generally the authors, and other types of credits such as illustrator, editorial staff, and indexer. Sometimes this page has notes from the publisher in copyright, acknowledgments for books that contain reprinted material that requires permission such as excerpts, song lyrics, and etc. Dedication. The dedication page is where the author honors an individual or individuals by declaring that the labor of the book is dedicated to, and the name or names are filled in. Acknowledgements. This page is where the author thanks those who contributed their time, resources, and talent towards the effort of writing the book. Table of contents. This page or pages outline what is included in each chapter of the book. Foreword. The foreword is what is referred to as the setup for the book, typically written by someone other than the author. Preface or introduction. The introduction is another setup but is generally written by the author. A book's body matter. Body matter is the core contents of the book or what is called the story. The core content is most often divided into discrete segments, most commonly chapters. Chapters may be part of larger divided chunks called parts or sections. The body matter is numbered with Arabic numerals beginning with the number 1 on the first page of the first chapter. A book's end matter. End matter is the material at the back of the book, generally optional. Glossary. The glossary is a list of term definitions used throughout the book that might be unfamiliar to the reader. Bibliography. Most often seen in nonfiction like a biography or an academic text. A bibliography lists the references and sources used in researching or reporting the book. Index. An index is an optional but highly desirable element for nonfiction works, placed at the very end of the book. It acts as a map to the mentions of and references to major topics and people throughout the work, indicating the specific page numbers on which they appear. A long index entry often breaks down with terse descriptions, dimensions. It might list an individual's name, then indicate birth of, education of, marriage of, followed by the corresponding pages. An index is arranged in alphabetical order.
My topic is all about call numbers. To understand what is call numbers, each book in the library has a unique call numbers. A call number is like an address. It tells us where the book is located in the library. Call numbers appear on the spines of the books and journals and in library's catalog. Note that the same call numbers can be written from top to bottom or left to right. To understand the numbers, beside the materials in the government and geographic information collection, the call number used by the library are classified by subject. You can often find several helpful books on the same shelf or nearby. The first sections of the call number represent the subject of the book. The letter and decimal section of the call number typically represents the author's last name. The last section of a call number is often the date of publication. There are three types of call numbers, which is the Library of Congress. Library of Congress is used in our music and transportation libraries as of January 15. All new acquisitions received Library of Congress call numbers. Second is Dewey Decimal, was used to classify the majority of the library's collection until 2015. And lastly, SODOC, which is Superintendent of Documents Classification. Call numbers are issued by the United States Government Printing Office for items published by the U.S. government. The SODA classification system is not a subject-based system. Instead, items are arranged by the department or the agency issuing the publication, such as the FBI or the Department of Health. As a depository for government documents, Northwestern University Libraries uses the SODOC classification system for all government documents.